This morning's hot topic is the Bay of Pigs invasion. This event occurred April 16th. Johnny, you're live from Miami.
I'm Isaac. I'm here at the White House, as you can see, to tell you about President Kennedy and his involvement with the Bay of Pigs. In the spring of 1960, almost a year before President Kennedy was sworn in office, President Eisenhower approved a CIA plan to secretly train anti-communist Cuban exiles to launch an invasion to overthrow Fidel Castro's government in Cuba. A mere 2 days after his inauguration, President Kennedy was briefed on the plan. The CIA was anxious to take action in Cuba, fearing the rise of a communist regime only 90 miles away from American soil, and urged JFK to authorize the invasion. JFK had to think, though. While a successful invasion would topple Castro's anti-American government, a failed mission could be disastrous for Kennedy's image both at home and abroad. After the CIA reassured Kennedy that the invasion would be a success and that the United States would only be minimally involved, JFK authorized the plan to invade Cuba at the Bay of Pigs. The mission was set to commence on April 15, 1961, with a military strike against Cuban airfields. That's all I have for you today. Back to you.
DTI News reporter Johnny Branch speaking. Good morning, Isaac. I'm coming live from Miami, Florida to inform you of the information about the situation that is occurring in Cuba as we speak. Just over 90 miles from U.S. soil, the Bay of Pig invasion is occurring in Cuba. Cuban exilers are being recruited and trained by the CIA. This plan was authorized and thought by former President Eisenhower. Here in Miami, the CIA has made a new government existing exile organization. The trainings for Cuban exiles or freedom fighters is taking place in Guatemala. Now, we have gotten new information of why it is in Guatemala, and that is because of the sufficiency of the U.S. Embassy there ever since the overthrow of Guatemala's President Arbanese in 1954. Ever since the invasion has started on the 17th of April, all we have heard lately is disaster on both our freedom fighters that fight for our country and the invasion itself. Now we have gotten information on why this plan was established, and the reason is because since our new president, John F. Kennedy, agreed to this, he wanted a revolt to occur in Cuba after a revolutionary named Castro had overthrew the Cuban dictator Baseta. Right after Castro took control of this dictator, he became communist and became allies with the Soviets, also leading to communism in Cuba itself. I'm Johnny Branch, coming from KJDTI News.
Are we live? Are we live? Yes, I'm Tanner Lobato reporting live from Cuba as the invasion is currently going on outside as we speak. The Cuban exiles began the main invasion on the beach of Playa Garan. The planes used in this invasion were disguised by the United States. They were supposed to resemble the Cuban Air Force, but it was quickly discovered by the Cubans. Word spread through the country of the U.S. support. As for the invasion itself, Fidel Castro ordered a counterattack that consisted of 20,000 of his troops. The invasion then was lopsided in favor of the Cubans. 1,200 of the Cuban exiles surrendered. They started out with 1,400. Over 100 of these exiles died. That is all from Cuba. Stay tuned for the 6 o'clock edition of this show for updates. Tanner Lobato and the rest of the team signing off.